Hello,
Hello.
Matthew.
Hi, teacher.
Yes,
Um,
good evening. Yes.
Good evening.
Okay, how are you?
Uh, a little bit tired, exhausted.
Oh, why? Did you do lots of things today?
Yeah, always, every day. I
Always.
I do many things every day, even the holiday.
Oh, okay. And what time did you finish your work today?
Normally I get off
Yes,
on time.
on time. But
Yeah, time, but I still take my spare time to study more. So that's
okay,
why I feel very tired.
feel very tired.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So just always don't forget to eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Don't skip meals. That's the most important thing, right?
Yes.
Yes, of being
Yes,
busy. Of
that is
being
no
busy.
problem. I will eat my meal very on time.
Okay, yes. Did you say very on time?
Yeah, so very on
Okay,
time.
should
That
I?
sounds not correct, right? Incorrect.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you can just
know.
say I will always eat on time. You can just say on time.
But I want to describe um uh a comparison. You know, compare it's more on time than I want to emphasize. Let's say I want to emphasize.
Yes.
I want to emphasize that I won't forget, and I definitely will eat on time. I want to emphasize, so I will be very. I'm not sure if it is correct, but uh, is it another way to describe?
Okay. It's because whenever you say on time, that means very, because you're describing
Uh,
something about a, a time that you need to eat. But if you want to say more of that, you can say timely.
I know.
Timely, yes. When you say timely, it means sufficient, early.
Sufficient early. Oh,
Yes, it means that
so
is favorable time.
favorable
Yeah,
time. What is that?
it's some like saying perfect time,
Oh,
like
okay.
that. Okay, so you can say timely.
So, so teacher, you mean on time already? Okay. Emphasizing.
Yeah, means timely. That's
Oh,
a synonym.
okay.
Okay.
Is there a lower level than time?
No,
Is
no, no.
there any?
There's nothing about lower level when it comes to synonyms. It only depends on what sentence you best describe a synonym.
Yeah, I know the cinnamon. You mean the cinnamon means they have uh, similar similar meanings, right?
Yes.
But I mean to say um, it's a comparison because teacher you say sometimes already have emphasized inside the meaning of emphasize inside. So is there if I want to comparison, is there any words also describe the time, but not that not that sharp, not that sharp than on time.
Yeah, so you can say timely.
Timely, timely.
Yeah, because you want more of being on time, right?
or less,
Less
and
than on time.
yeah, less or more. So, mhm,
So you want words that you can also use that is less or more than on time.
yes, yes. Is there that kind of word?
Well, it depends on how you describe your sentence, but in your case, which is on time, there's no specific term or sentence that you can say which is more or less. Because it
How,
your case depends on how you do it. It's not on the words, it's how the person does it. Okay?
how,
That's why if you want to describe something like that, um, you will then use some words.
uh-huh. So, if you if teaching you, what will you to use?
Which one?
Uh, more more or less than on time.
Okay, you can say
Being on time.
right on time.
Right on time.
Yeah, I usually
I
eat my breakfast or lunch or dinner right on time. So it means that I always eat at 7 a.m. for breakfast, 6 p.m. for dinner, 12 in the afternoon for lunch. So that is a very specific term to say right on time.
and in that case, it's kind of more than being on time.
Not really more on being on time, but a specific word to say that I describe eating my food at the same time. 7 a.m. for breakfast, 12 for lunch, and then 6 for dinner. Okay. So if you would like to have more from on time, so you can just say right on time.
Yeah. Okay. What about less than? Is there?
There's no term I think to say less when it comes to on time because it follows the late, a little late,
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
right?
So you mean yeah, I got your point. I got your point. Okay.
Yeah.
But how will you describe it?
Which one?
How will you describe maybe late?
Sorry,
Or you
late.
just say on time, less than on time. What?
How do you describe? Well, you can say those. A little late.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Because when it comes to describing, there is no specific term that you could follow. It only depends on how you describe it yourself or the way they describe it. That's why you
Okay.
could say right on time and then
Okay. 'Punctual. Okay. Punctual. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure material. I'm not sure which material we are using today. We are going to be using. Yes. But I can't recall if we already view the article before. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So uh, handouts are the most widely used form of visual aid. They can be a single page for multiple pages. The most effective handouts do not rely on words alone, but include colorful and informative graphics and charts. Any words included are typically in an easy-to-read font, such as Courier or Time Measurement, okay, and posted on a white background. Okay. I highlight the words that I have not that I'm not I'm not very sure the meaning. Let me look. Okay. So for the first paragraph, it's handouts. Yes. Read the next paragraph.
Yeah, next paragraph. If you don't have any words or unfamiliar words on the first one, it's okay.
No, I I I have a handouts.
Okay.
I just highlight.
So you want me to explain it to you now?
Or we finish reading.
Yeah, you can finish
And
reading first so you won't
uh,
forget.
okay.
Okay.
So the second paragraph,
Okay, sure.
and an advantage of handouts is that they allow an audience member to view examples and addendums that extend the presentation and enlighten with details. Oh, I seems it seems that I remember I have asked addendums and enlighten to you, right?
Yes, addendums and
Oh,
enlighten, right?
but why there is no any notes?
Sorry?
Yeah, but why there's not any notes about addendums and enlighten? Hmm,
Oh,
weird.
maybe you did not write it down?
Uh, I'm not sure, but okay. Let me continue.
Okay, sure, sure.
Uh, Another benefit is that listeners can use the main points highlighted in the handout as guideposts. Oh, what is that? Guide
Okay.
guideposts.
Guideposts. Okay. Yeah.
Guideposts for understanding and following the overall delivery.
Okay.
There are pitfalls to relying on handouts. Oh, pitfalls. However, and some audience member become overly engrossed. What was that?
Yeah. Overly
Overly,
engrossed.
overly engrossed.
Yes.
in them to the point that they cease listening to the speaker altogether.
Altogether. Okay. Next.
There are two forms of slides that can be used as visual aids: projector slides and PowerPoint slides. Project slides are physical objects, often made of glass and or plexiglass. I don't know what is that.
Okay.
Now, which are shuffled into a projector that produces the image on a white screen that must be glued to the presentation or provided by the host facility. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Facility.
Words.
Shuffled. Okay.
Yeah, shuffle and facility.
Facility. Okay.
Also, also plexiglass. I don't know what is that.
Plexiglass. Okay. Next.
Okay. Um, PowerPoint slides are digital slides. They are created on a computer with text, animation, video, and audio. The digital slideshow can be shown on the white screen by using projection equipment, or shown on a large monitor or television via an HDMI or other cable connection. The disadvantage of the classic physical projector slide is that the presentation room must be completely darkened. While a PowerPoint presentation can often require a dim person.
Dimmed.
Dim.
Dim. Right. Dim. Okay.
Dim.
Yeah. Dim. Next.
Atmosphere shown on a television monitor can be seen effectively in normal room light. Another advantage of PowerPoint slide is that the slideshow can be conveniently carried on a thumb drive or data card. Thumb drive. Is that USB? Thumb drive.
Sorry. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Continue.
Yeah. Sure.
A disadvantage of physical projector slide is that they cannot be embellished with animation and motion video. Yeah. Embellish. Teacher, can you help me to highlight the embellish?
Yeah. Embellished.
Embellished.
Yes. Okay.
Videos with their crisp color and dynamic presence can often captivate an audience that has run from overall presentation.
Okay.
Teacher, can you help me to highlight
Yeah.
the
Sure.
crisp
Okay. Crisp.
and captivates?
Yeah. It should be crisp, not crisps.
Oh, crisp.
Yes. Okay. Captivate. Captivate. Right. Okay.
Yeah, captivate. And weary.
Sorry. Wary. Okay.
Yeah, weary.
Wary. All right.
Okay. There are several kinds of videos that can be utilized in the presentation. Self-created videos made via camcorder camcorders, mirrorless phones, and movie maker software can be used from storage on the hard drive. Online videos can be commanded
Commandeered.
Oh, okay.
Commandeered.
Commandeered. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Commandeered for presentation if a monitor and internet connection are available.
Okay.
Film strips.
Strips. Okay. Good. Strips. Should I light it up?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Okay. Strips. Yeah.
Strips. Or whole movies can also be shown using a DVD player, projector, or computer. The advantage is that video can elevate things. You can hear from me
Elevate.
light. Oh yeah, elevate.
Okay. Yeah. Next.
Things and content through storytelling. Stories.
Storytelling.
Story
Resonate.
and resonate.
Yes,
Resonate.
resonate,
And storytelling.
Again. And storytelling.
Yeah, and storytelling.
Okay.
Storytelling.
Yes.
With audience and are more likely to be remembered. With online video networks like YouTube and Google Video, an advantage is that the presenter has a global archive. At her fingertips.
Okay. Archive. Should I?
Yeah, archive.
Okay. And then at her fingertips. Okay. Next.
But this advantage is that special equipment often has to be prearranged. Internet connections, monitors, projectors, and DVD players may not be available as all sites or cloud have electrical malfunctions that thwart their use. Yeah. Teacher, can you help me like
Thwart. Yeah. That's thwart.
thwart?
Yes. Thwart. Right?
Yeah, thwart
Thwart. Okay.
their use and impair presentation points. The impair.
Yes. Impair. Okay. So before we tackle on the
So
words, yes. So can you give me a short understanding you have comprehended about the paragraphs? So what is it all about?
To be honest, after reading one time,
Okay, you need more times.
I think more times I
Okay.
have, yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know.
Okay, so in short, you were too focused on the words that you don't quite understand or you're not familiar to, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, just a suggestion, alright? So when it comes to reading such articles, paragraphs, and examples like this, always try to do first you need to understand. Okay, you just need to, you know, get the main point, the keywords that will tell you what is it about. Okay, so you can,
Yeah.
you know, you can somehow comprehend even if you don't understand the words at all. But what's important is that you should understand the whole paragraph, and then it follows learning the words. Okay. Anyways, it's just a suggestion, but you know, but because I knew that it's kind of hard to, you know, understand the words, so that's just a suggestion if ever you encounter such article. Okay.
Yeah, but teacher, if the keyword, the meaning of keyword, I don't know.
Keywords.
Then
When you say keywords, that are the clues that
yeah,
the paragraph tells you. So for example, here, handouts. So that's your first keyword because we're talking about handouts. And then what are
Yeah,
the
so-
keywords about handouts?
Yeah.
So those are single pages, multiple pages. Alright? So you don't have to understand all the informations that you have read. You can just do that after, just in case you need to understand it at the very moment. Okay?
okay.
Alright. Yeah, and then you can just take note. Okay, so you can take note of the words, and then you can just go back to the sentences where you found the words that are unfamiliar. Okay. Okay, but anyways, yeah, because here you are learning. So, would you like to discuss the words, or I'll send you the meanings, or we will continue number one question.
Let me check.
Okay, because that's quite
Because I have no get very clear about the article,
okay.
so I'm afraid I cannot answer the question based on this article.
Okay, so then let's just have the words, and then your answers will be your homework. Okay.
Okay.
So that's number one question, 2, 3, 4, and then you can just put your answers there. So that will be your homework. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay, before we start the first word, handout. So sometimes if you don't understand the word, if it's not familiar, there's always something in the word that can give you a clue.
Okay.
Okay, so here, to understand it more. Okay, when you say handout, and then from the word hand, and from the picture, the video that moves here as an example. Okay, so handouts are papers with informations that you have written something on it. These are your notes. Okay, you wrote something on the paper that are important informations you need. They are your handouts. Okay,
Why isn't we call that paper or just notes?
notes. It's because when you say notes, it's more on you are describing informations that you put on notebook notes, right?
Oh,
You take down, you write down informations. But when you say handouts, you didn't have something to copy. You just wrote them down on a piece of paper. They are your own informations. They are your own ideas. It came from your mind. So you make them as your handouts. Okay?
okay.
All right. So another meaning to say handouts, it's also something that is written information.
written information.
Yes. Lecture.
Okay.
Yes, lecture. Or lecture. Yeah, to give information. Okay, for example, you can also use the words. Okay, if I'm not sure if you're familiar. Leaflet.
No, I don't know this one.
Brochure. Brochure.
Not this one. This one I don't remember.
Okay, I'll just send it to you on Skype, and then you can search the pictures or what are these. Okay, so you can compare. Okay.
Okay.
Leaflet. Sorry. Wait, I'm not sure of the spelling. Oh yeah, it's right. Okay, leaflet, and then we have brochure.
Oh,
So yes, you might get confused. Why are these handouts? You might want to ask that, right? I know. Okay, so these are examples of same words that describes handout. These are also handouts.
handout is kind of a set,
Yes.
and there could be many things, but anything that you wrote on a
Yes.
paper, and
Free.
that paper
It means free information that you feed to someone, you give to someone.
free information.
Yes. Free information. I mean, what do you call this one? When you say free, it came from you. These are your own understanding. These are your ideas. And then
Yeah, so that
you wrote them. Sorry?
Mhm. Yeah, if that is my own understanding of something, that shouldn't be free, right?
No. It's free because you share it. For example, you have a presentation, and none in the company knows what is about your presentation. They just know your presentation is about, for example, sales report, but they don't know what information you will come up to present to them, right? So your own searching, your own understanding, your own writings of examples, etc., they are your handouts. So you write them, you put them on a PowerPoint, and then you show them. It's free. They don't need to pay. They just need to listen, right? So that's how I describe it, free, because you do it on your own and then you share it to them. So those are then leaflets, brochures, and then you type something on your computer and then print it out and then you distribute them to each of your members, right?
Okay.
Okay, those are what we call, or that is what we call handout. Okay? That's why it says here, are the most widely used form of visual aid, because it's easier for you to just share your understanding. What's about such information? You tell them, you show them. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So as long as a copy of something you did and show it to others, that's handout. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's why it says
So
here,
it's-
single page, multiple page, like that, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, alright. So as long as it's information provided free that you show to someone or someone, okay?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So here, the paper that you see the man is holding and giving to someone, right? They are handouts. And all of those papers there on the wall, okay? It means
Okay.
you wrote all the informations there, you print them out, you constructed your own definitions.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Next, is that clear?
Yeah, it is clear.
Okay. All right. Next, addendums.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's repeat. Yeah. Okay. When you say addendums, these are just additional. It can be additional material. It can be additional information. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Like here, extend the presentation, which means you have shown or you will show more information, more examples, more pictures. Those are your addendums. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like extra information, right?
Yes, to show more informations, just to add more, to let them understand it deeply. Okay?
Yeah.
And then enlighten here means to make them understand.
Yeah, okay.
That's why you showed addendums. Okay?
Yeah.
Addendums are the additional details so they can easily be enlightened, which means they can easily understand. So enlightened, that's why we use it here. Okay?
The one where is no any like enlightened
Sorry?
audience with the person. I mean, the enlightened is a verb, right? It's a verb.
Yes.
And normally a verb followed by subject, right?
Subject.
Subject or object.
Yes.
But there is no. I'm not sure which one is correct, subject or object. And why there is no subject or object followed by enlightened
Okay, here,
in this case?
it doesn't have something as verb because it doesn't have ed, right? Yes, ed. Because when you put ed, enlightened becomes verb. But here, it describes or it follows the object.
So if there is no ed, end with ed, the enlightened is like is a noun.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Okay, because some words becomes verb when you add ed, because
Yes.
that's how they show action in the sentence, right?
But some words could be verb when it ends with ian, right?
Yeah, they are verbs that describes the subject, but not the object.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Next, questions? No?
Can you say again about subject, object, about the enlightened?
Oh, yeah, okay. When you describe it as verb, all right, supporting the subject, okay, you add ed.
Okay, so you mean if I use enlightened, there must be a subject like I, you, or he, right?
Yes, or a name itself, like Christopher.
Okay. So in this case, there is not.
Yes. So here it doesn't support the subject, but it supports the object, which is
yeah,
detail.
there is no object behind.
No, here. These are the objects then here. Presentation, details.
So it means enlighten the presentation with details.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
So it supports
okay.
the object, which is details, right? What does the presentation enlighten about? The details. Okay? So that's how you complete the thought of the sentence. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. But if you want to use this in a verb with ed, so
Yes.
you can say here. The members of the department head are enlightened with the details.
The member of
Yeah, the members of the department are enlightened with the details.
Okay.
Okay. So there we show the action of enlightened, being enlightened, right?
Okay.
And then here, enlighten, that supports what makes it clear, the details, like that. You cannot, what makes it clear, the people, right? But it makes clear with the details. So that's how you use it. Okay? Okay. All right. Next, guideposts, right?
Guideposts. Yeah, guideposts.
Okay. When you say guidepost, okay, how do I say this? Signpost. Okay, I can't think of any word to describe it. Signpost.
Signpost.
Yes. When you say, yeah, signpost.
I'm not sure.
About,
I'm not sure they are different. Signposts.
no. If you know signpost, it's also the same as guidepost.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what does the guidepost mean, and so I don't know.
Okay, when you say guidepost, it means a sign. It's a sign, as I said, signpost, giving directions.
Giving direction.
Yes, let's say for travelers. Like guideline. The same thing as guideline.
Oh. So it's a post.
Yes, it's a...
Is that very close to the short clip below?
Sorry?
The man with the suit in the second.
Yes, exactly.
That is guidepost.
Yes.
He is using guide.
Yes. Which means that you are doing sometimes body gestures or body gestures.
Okay. So guidepost is like body gesture.
Yes, that's how you explain, right? You do some actions to understand it more than just looking at the information.
Okay. So the sentence is another benefit is that something can be used in the context. But the sentence is another benefit is that listeners can use the main points highlighted in a handout as guideposts.
Yes. When you say handout as guidepost, all right, you will see on the handout how is it being written. Yes,
Okay.
like for example, there is the title that is big enough, and then the description which are shorter, and then bullets that describes examples. Those are guideposts on your handout. Okay.
But isn't like guideposts is like human to take action?
No, that's just an added. That's just an added guide that you do gestures.
Added guide.
Yes.
Giving head guideposts could mean many meanings.
Yes.
But the main meanings is that in a handout and you want to highlight the key points, so you use something like bigger fonts or bolded.
Yeah, or you can use sticks, laser,
Oh,
like those, isn't it?
anyway, it's just something that you make it special in a handout. So it could be guideposts.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so it depends on you on how you do it yourself. It can be more on handout with body gestures while you are explaining, or it can be something as you use laser the whole time you explain something. So that is your hand post then. You guide them by using examples or by using the laser to pinpoint what are you talking about on the information showed. Okay?
Well, okay.
Okay. Next. Pitfalls.
Yeah, pitfalls.
Okay. Pitfall. It means. Okay, how should I say this? It's something that is not easily recognized. Something unexpected. Okay, something unexpected. Okay, here. There are pitfalls to relying on handouts. However, some audience members become overly engrossed. So let's try to focus on this sentence, okay? So when you say there are pitfalls, it also means there are, you can say flaws. Flaws. Here.
What's that?
I'll send it to you. Flaws. When you say flaws, these are like mistakes, right?
Hold on.
Okay. I have sent it to you.
Flaws.
Yes. So which means that there's maybe there might be something wrong that you did not expect about your presentation. Those are pitfalls. Okay.
Come again?
There something wrong that you did not notice about your presentation. They are your pitfalls.
Something wrong. I did not what? Because the signal is on.
Yeah. Something wrong you did not notice about your presentations. About your presentation, I mean. Okay. That's why.
Well, how do I know something wrong?
Sorry.
Like, how do I know there is something wrong, but I didn't notice?
Oh, like your members will ask you. and then you're confused, or maybe you don't know how to answer it. Maybe because you did not search about the information. Maybe you forgot to add this information, or maybe you did not read about this information. So those are pitfalls. Anyway, like what they say, there's nobody's perfect, right? There's always questions that you might not able to answer. So those are pitfalls. Okay.
We want to go pitfalls.
Yes. Okay, so let's continue the sentence so you can understand. There are pitfalls to relying handouts, which means that if you have all the informations, that's not just enough, because sometimes you miss some information you don't know, or you don't notice. Okay, so they are then the pitfalls.
So why relying on handouts?
Because rely means you read about your handouts, because you do your handouts for you to remember all of the informations you have, you have thought. That's why you do your handouts. Right?
Yes.
And then after writing them all on your handouts, you will rely, which means you will just read, you will just review, you will just read and then let them see the handouts.
You mean I will preview the handout?
You will just focus on what's written on the handouts.
Okay.
You will somehow ignore what's in your mind. I mean, you will just say what it says on your handout, because you have written them there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why relying on handouts. Okay, so that's why some people use guideposts, so they won't lose track on their presentation. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, let's try to continue the sentence. So here, some audience members become overly engrossed.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. When you say overly engrossed, okay, how should I say this? Something, no. It means you hold attention.
Like whole attention?
Yes. It means you are too focused. When you say overly engrossed, you are too focused. Okay, so you can say some audience members become too focused in them to the point that they cease listening to a speaker altogether. When you say overly engrossed, okay, you don't look at the handout, you don't look at the printed information, you just look at the person talking in front of you, and then that's it. So you are overly engrossed then, you are too focused, okay?
Yes.
Overly engrossed.
Is that a good word for that?
Sorry?
Is that the article say overly engrossed is a good way or a bad way when we are listening?
It's somehow, you can say it's a bad way, because that is, yes, because that falls on pitfalls. That's why I want to continue the sentence here, okay? When there are pitfalls to relying on handouts, the audience becomes overly engrossed that pitfalls. That's something wrong, because you just talk and talk and talk, and then they just listen and listen, but they don't understand, because they are focused. They are too focused on what you say, on you. So that is a good example. Pitfalls. Overly engrossed pitfalls. Okay?
Hmm. I'm not clear.
Okay. Okay. Sentence says there are pitfalls.
Yeah, because the pitfalls, the sentence, it says when you too relying on handouts, there will be pitfalls, right?
Yes.
And which means if you too focus on handout, maybe there will be pitfalls. But next sentence says audience become too focused on you, and they don't see or they don't view the printed information. And teacher, you say in this article, the article say that is not a good way being a listener because they will I don't know. Am I correct? Am my explanation correct?
Okay. Let's put it this way. Going back when you were still studying, teachers ask you to do a report. Right? Report in front of your classmates. Right?
Huh?
They will give you a certain topic that you need to discuss in front of your classmates, right?
Okay.
Okay. So you will prepare. You will search all the informations needed about your report. You will take down the informations. You will type them on your computer, save them, print them out, and then give it to your classmates, right?
Yes.
But sometimes we don't give printed information. We just discuss it to them, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for example, you printed out copies of your report. They have the copies, you have the copy, and then you discuss it to them, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then it comes the sentence, there are pitfalls on relying on your handout. Your handout is your copy, right?
Yes.
Okay, because they are too focused on the copy, they don't listen to you. They just rely on the information they read. Oh, why should I listen? I already have the copy. So you talk and talk, they don't listen, they just read the copy. That is pitfall. Because they are too focused on your handouts, they don't listen to you anymore, you don't notice that. That is pitfall, the problems, okay? The negative things, okay? That's why relying on handouts. So here, relying on handouts, because you are relying too much on your handout and you just read, you explain, but you don't ask them if they understood you. You don't ask them if they have some questions. You don't ask them if they understand some words, right?
Okay.
Then that comes audience or your classmates become overly engrossed. They are just too focused on what you say, but they don't understand you because they don't ask them anymore.
Come again. Because
Because you relying on your handout, you discuss, you don't ask your classmates if they understand you, if they have any questions, right? If they are familiar to what you say, and then they become overly focused or overly engrossed that time because they just listen to you, and then they don't really understand what you say. because you just talk and talk and talk there, and then they just listen. They are just looking at you.
Oh, so they cease listening. That means they just listen, but they are not.
They are not paying attention because they are too focused, maybe of how you talk, how you do body gestures, like that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it's just a matter of, listening and discussing. So this means when you discuss, when you present, you should also ask them if they understand. You should also ask them if they have any questions. You should also ask them.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. All right. Clear?
Yeah, maybe. I know the example the teacher gave me, and I just have to check more detail on dictionary.
Okay, so since our time is really up, I'll just send you simple meanings as much as I could on the other words we have here. Okay? And then we'll just continue discussing them next lesson. And don't forget your answers, okay? Just in case, try to give your own understanding on your answers. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Alright. So, of course, and I know that you are really tired, so you could have a rest now. And let's just have it next time. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
Yes, you will be overloaded of information, so that's not good. Okay. So I'll just see you next time and have a great or have a good rest and talk to you next time. Okay. Bye bye, Matthew. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay.